योगेनेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप स एवायं मया तेभ्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्। अर्जुन उवाच अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतद्विजानीयाम् त्वमादौ प्रोक्तवानिति। श्रीभगवानुवाच बहूनि मे व्यथीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेत्थ सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्। परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे। धर्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन। वीतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्। मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवताः क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्यकर्तारमव्ययम्। न मां कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति न मे कर्मफले स्पृहा इति मां योऽभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते। एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतं किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात्। कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं सविकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः। कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्. We will have that soon. Yes, yes, sir. So, we saw one part of it. What is one part of it? Karmani akarma yaha pashyet. And that too just the example. Drishtanta we have seen, not Darshtanta. So, karmani akarma yaha pashyet. The one who sees non-action. Akarma, where in the place of karma. Okay, so that karmani, seventh case, karma, karmani, karmani, like that, and then seventh case is karmani. So karmani, the seventh case can mean location also. Here it's not location. Here it is in place of Vishaya Saptami. So in place of karma, the one who sees akarma. Karmani akarma yaf pashyet. And what was the example of going in the boat and ascribing movement to the trees, buildings, temple towers on the bank? You are going along with the bank and it appears the trees are moving. Same thing in a train. If you go in the train also, same thing. There is movement. Where is the movement? Where there is no movement, we ascribe movement. This is the example. Now, what is the exemplified? The exemplified is the connection between Anatma and Atma, or Atma and Anatma, however you want to take it, because there, see, we have kind of forgotten Atma and Anatma. We had a nice introduction to that in the second chapter. We saw that, and the third chapter was all a very practical chapter about how to lead the life, what is karma yoga, how to not get affected by what one does, etc., etc. So we kind of put Atma, Anatma somewhere behind. Now it is time to bring those to the front and center of the mind, because what is the prakarna here? Jnana karma sannyasa. Jnana and karma. That is the topic here. So the jnana is the topic. Jnanena, by jnana, karma sannyasa. Not sannyasa of jnana and karma. Then there will be nothing to do. There will be nothing to study. If we give up karma and jnana, what is there? Nothing. And so that is not how to resolve the compound, we have seen. And so here in this particular verse, which is very, very important, not only in this chapter but for the whole message of Vedanta Shastra is there. And so this has to be studied very carefully. So now, the one who says, I am a doer, who is that? The body, mind, sense, Ahamkara, which says, I am the doer, Ahamkara. And which is this Ahamkara? The one that is endowed with the body, mind, sense complex. What is this Ahamkara? Nothing but Atma. However, Atma is not Ahamkara. We have seen this, it's all one-way street. Ahamkara is Atma, body is Atma, B is A, but A is not B. Ultimately, we get to the place where there is no B at all. Yeah, because we just learn to be. That's why. So there is really no B, there is only A, but for now, we make this distinction so we have better comprehension, better clarity, better assimilation and enjoyment of the teachings. For these reasons we make this distinction, because that is where the mix-up is. The mix-up is between the Ahamkara and I. And so the I is, which is always free of action, And the Ahamkara, the I, the self, the Atma is always free of action. We have seen this. Why? Atma is Brahma and Brahman is always free of action. So the I is always free of action and the Ahamkara is never free of action. This is the idea. But Ahamkara is Atma because everything is Atma. Even what we call Anatma is Atma alone, but Atma is not Anatma. So, if this much is understood, then we can see how this example of the moving vehicle or boat and the movement being ascribed to the trees on the river bank, how does it translate to Atma and Ahamkara? The Ahamkara is the one who identifies as Karta and suffers from Kartritvam, do worship. Suffers from the effect of Kartritvam. I am a doer, I am so sad because now doer, now I am done by other people's actions, now I am guilty, now I am hurt. All these things come along with doership. They are part and parcel of doership. Whereas the Atma ever free from doership, Ahamkara never free from doership. This is how it is. So what happens? The person who is an Ajnani, who has no idea of Vedanta Shastra, ascribes the movement and karma to Atma. This is the problem. Ascribes the karma to where it is not. That is the problem. So ascribe, the Ahamkara says, I am a doer. The conclusion is wrong. Conclusion is wrong. Because of its association, as though association, now the time has come for me again in this chapter to hold these things like this. Everything is as though, as though, as though. Because of its as though association with what? With the Ahamkara, the Atma also gets implicated in the doing mistakenly. This is brought out very well in the Kathopanishad. Ritam pibantau sukrutasya loke guham pravishtau parame parardhe chaya tapau brahmavido vadanti ye chatrinachiketaha api vadanti. So the very beautiful imagery is here. Two people are drinking. Pibantau. Two people are drinking. What are they drinking? A cocktail of Papa and Punya. That is what they are drinking. Karma cocktail they are drinking. Where? Guham Pravishtav. They are in a cave. They are drinking. Then, let's say this is indeed the case, and then let's say they are engaging in some nefarious activity. The police comes and rounds all of them up. Let's say there is a lot of people and they appear to be drinking. Police comes and rounds all of them up. Then upon closer examination, we find what? Only one was drinking, the other one was just free of drinking. The other one was just bringing the drinking to light, totally free of drinking. You see? So this is how the Atma is not culpable, and the same thing is going to be taught in the Mundakopanishad in the next section, where in the third Mundaka, where the two birds embracing on a branch of a tree, Dvau Suparnau, which the Upanishad says Dva Suparna Chandasam. Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhayaha Samanam Vrikshe Parishasvajate. They have golden wings. They are embracing on the same branch. But there is a difference. What's the difference? Tayor Ekaha, out of the two, one of them is very active. Pippalam, Swadu Pippalam Atti is into berries. Tasty berries it searches for, and then it goes in and out, up and down, all around, and it keeps eating the berries. And what does the other one do? Anashnan, without eating. Anashnan anyaha, the other one just watches. One is the Ahamkara bird, the Jiva bird, and what is the other one? Ishwara Atma. Same thing here. So here also there is the one who says, I am frenetically engaged in activity. I am doing this, I am doing that. Because what else is there to talk about? First question, if you meet somebody, what is the first question? What is your name? Second question, what do you do? What do you do? And you better have some list of things you do. Otherwise, nobody will even look at you. They will say, okay, and you just say, oh, I am a non-doer. If you introduce yourself like that, next time they see you coming, they will take a U-turn and go back. That is what will happen. Nobody will understand. And this is precisely the problem. There is no understanding at all. And so therefore here, for the Ajnani, the one who has no idea about anything that we are talking, that person will confuse the I to be Karta and therefore comes to grief. There is no inner space between the Sakshi, which is the Swarupa of the person, which is the Swarupa of the Atma, and the Karta, which is the attribute of the Ahamkara. There is no inner space. The two get conflated due to Atma Ajnanam, and just like perceiving movement where it is not. And that is how one gets into trouble in one's life. One thinks of oneself as an actor, whereas I am Nitya Akarta, always Akarta, where? In the light of the Shastra. So in the case of the two birds, one of them eating karma phala berries and the other one just sitting quietly, which one I am? Yes, the one, nobody said the one who is eating berries. Very nice. So the one who is sitting quietly, that's the one I am. And even in the one who is drinking Papa Punya mixture, so the one who is drinking this, am I the one who is drinking or am I the one who is watching? I am the one who is watching. That's why Chaya Tapau Brahmavido Vadanti. Chaya and Atapa. One is the one shedding the light like the sun. The other one is a mere shadow going about its day. What is the connection between the sun and the shadow? Nothing. No connection. In other words, I am Satyam and the activity is Mithya. I as with the epithet, with the name actor Mithya. When Mithya and Satyam try to become friends, nothing happens. They cannot become friends because one belongs to the, Mithya belongs to the Vyavaharika reality, Vyavaharika Satta, empirical reality, whereas Satyam belongs to what? Paramarthika Satta, absolute reality. The empirical being dependent upon the absolute, Kartritvam belonging to the realm of the empirical, then the Kartritvam is dependent upon non-Kartritvam. The whole Vedanta is a series of paradoxes like that. The truth of Karta is what? Akarta. That's why Karmani Akarma Yaha Paschet. The one who has got this and sees this through and through is a Jnani, Adi Shankara says. So that's only 1/4 of the verse. What is the next quarter? Read and tell. Yeah. These are my ways of keeping everyone awake. Yeah. Akarmani cha karma. Yaha pashyet, we have to add that. Yaha is given, pashyet we have to add. So the one who sees what? Karma in akarma. Okay, the first part with great difficulty and 2 classes later I have understood. Now how to understand the second part? In non-action, how can I see action in non-action? Very, very interesting. So the example, the stock example that is given while teaching this verse is the Shivaratri function, Maha Shivavaratri. So on Maha Shivavaratri day, what happens? Many things happen. So this person on Maha Shivavaratri day, she does the following things. What does she do? She does puja at home. Activity number 1. Okay. Then what does she do? She goes to the temple to attend one abhisheka and to chant a few things. Then after that, what does she do? She keeps a fast. Okay. And she keeps the fast for the entire day. So we have 3 activities. That's what we think. But out of these 3 activities, 2 are activities, 1 is a non-activity. Which is the non-activity? Keeping a fast. That answer came out very fast. Keeping a fast is a non-activity. Because what is a fast? Not eating. Not eating means akarma. Not eating can be called karma? No, it is akarma. Really speaking, it is akarma. I am not eating. I am not eating. I am, and that's why you say, I am abstaining from food. Let's say there is a 4th activity. Because it is Shivaratri day, I am observing silence, maunam. What is maunam? Not talking. But Adi Shankara gives a brilliant argument here in the Bhashya. I'm just going to give you a little gist so that we see how this great sage thinks. It's just so beautiful. We don't know what we would do without him. He gives a brilliant expose about this. He says that all this, and he adds a few other things. I mean, this Shivaratri is the example from our teachers. But then he gives the traditional example of the 5 yamas and niyamas. What are they? Ahimsa. All the words start with a. Himsam na kuryat. That is ahimsa. Do not do himsa. Ahimsa is non-doing of violence, non-violence, non-action here. Asteyam. Non-stealing, aparigraham, non-collecting and not having greed for other people's things. Brahmacharya, abstinence from so many things. Brahmacharya. Like this, he gives these kinds of examples, which we can add because even though we are not really looking at the yamas and niyamas, nobody even knows what they are unless one is studying Yoga Sutras and all that. Still, it is useful to see it here because it's a classic example used by Adi Shankara in the Bhashya for this verse. So he says, people say, I do ahimsa. It's actually a not doing, but actually one is doing by not doing. So he says, he makes a powerful argument in this brilliant expose. He says, when you look at akarma and karma together, they have a lot in common. They have many common attributes. Sadharmyam, he uses the word. Sadharmyam means common attributes are there. First we have to see what constitutes action. Action means what? There should be an actor, correct? And then what else? Karta should be there. This is all grammatically. Then there should be karma. Karma means what? Object of action. Grammatical karma. Object should be there. Then I eat the food. Then I will say with the spoon. Then what is the with the spoon? Instrument. Karana is there. Then what else? Location of action is there. Here in this example, Shivaratri is the place. On Shivaratri day. And I am the Karta. Correct? And what am I doing? Fasting, which means not eating. And so what is the karma? Food. Food is the karma. Not eating that, still food becomes the karma of the action. And then with what are you not eating? With great amounts of willpower. I am not, with the help of great amounts of willpower, I am not eating. And the Karta is there. Rama is fasting, let us say. Local Rama. Okay? And then, not Lord Rama, local Rama, who was previously Shapad Rama, is now fasting. Foodie Rama is now fasting, but Krishna is not fasting. What is he doing? Local Krishna. Krishna is feasting, Rama is fasting. So you see, you have a Karta. Karta is there. Okay? Karma is there. The object of this action, which is actually a non-action, is what? Food. Then Karana is there with the help of Sankalpa, willpower. With the help of the mind, the strong mind, Manasa. So with the help of that Manas Shakti, the person abstains from this particular action. So inaction is just like action. Then what else do we call an action? That which is done with free will is an action. This is not an accidental fast because there was nothing to eat, or because one was engaged in an activity like writing a book or something and one forgot to eat. That's not the situation. What is the situation here? Deliberately, consciously, willfully, with the will I decide to fast on that day. And in karma also there is will, and in akarma also will is there. Will is there in both. Very interesting. So this is the so karakas are there. Karaka pravrittihi, first one. Karaka pravrittihi is there both in karma and what we call non-action akarma. Absence of action also, karaka pravritti is here. Means the deployment of the various factors of action, like the agent of action, the object of action, the instrument of action, karta, karma, karana, adhikarana, the place of action, all that is there both in the karma and in the non-karma. Karaka pravritti is there, number one. What else is there? What is the next one? Willpower, will is there. Intention is there. Intention is there. It's not an accidental fast. It's not an accidental maunam because I didn't see anybody and so I didn't talk. That's not what it is. It's a conscious, so that conscious will must be there for something to be called an action. Then what else does an action have? Result of action. So in karma there is result of action, namely papa and punya. Here also in akarma also there is result of action. By not eating food, what happens? Punya is generated. Look at that. Akarma is generating punya. Inaction, non-action is generating results of action. So fascinating. Very, very fascinating. So karaka pravritti is there. And then the will is there. Sankalpa is there. And then karma phala janaka. Both of them are karma phala janaka. Akarma is karma phala janakam. Karma is also karma phala janakam. Both of them produce results of action. Very interesting. And in fact, we have a famous sentence. What is that? Akarane pratyavayaha. Pratyavaya is a kind of dosha that accrues when you don't do what you're supposed to do. When you don't do what you're supposed to do, akarane pratyavayaha. Pratyavaya is a kind of a papa. When you do, you don't get punya, like nitya karma, etc. When you don't do, you get this papa, called pratyavaya dosha. And so then, there are three similarities already, sadharmyam in 3 respects we saw. Then one more respect is there. All the karma, how do you know what to do? Shastra choditam. Shastra chodanam means the instructions by the Shastra is there for karma. How do you know what not to do? Shastra choditam. The same Shastra in the form of vidhi, injunctions, tells you what to do, and the same Shastra tells you what not to do. See, what is the difference between karma and akarma? No difference, really speaking. No difference. And so the unwise will say, I am abstaining from karma, so therefore no results should accrue to me. This is not correct, because even when you abstain from karma, results can accrue, we have seen. Results can and do accrue. And so therefore the wise one says, there is no difference between karma and akarma. What is akarma is centered on I, the akarta. When I know myself to be akarta, then whatever I do is as good as that which does not produce any result at all. We saw in the Tattva Bodha, the Jnani. What does the Jnani do? The Jnani does not produce agami karma, we saw at the end. Prarabdha is exhausted out. The Jnani continues to live the life as a Jnani until the body drops. And then Sanchita is gone at the moment of gaining this clarity, I am not a karta. Then what is left? Agami. Agami karma means that which has to be understood as the one that I do in this life. Agami. Agami karma is not there because kartritva buddhi is not there. It's like a dead person's bank account. Where will the money go? There is no claimant. The karta in this way is falsified, and then therefore the karma is also falsified. So these are the 4 points we have to remember. So the first one is there is karaka, karaka pravritti, actions of karaka to make it a karma. Will or sankalpa is there. Second one, and then what is the third one? Karma phala janakatvam is there for both karma and akarma. And the fourth one, both of them are held up by the Shastra. That is how you know how to do both of them. So in all these respects there is sadharmyam. So really speaking, the one who says I am actionless is not really actionless. Who is really actionless? The one who has identified with the I, which is revealed by the Shastra as free of kartritva buddhi. That is the one who is akarta. Akarta means I am Atma, I am Brahman, I am Ishwara. We have already seen the seeds of this in the 3rd chapter, where I think 27th verse, 28th verse, I think. Read that, read the 27th verse. Tattva-vittu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagashah gunakarma vibhagayoho guna guneshu vartanta matvana sajjate. Then the next one. Guna sammodhaha te karmasu navido manda krishna vidna vichalaye. No, not that one. So, ahamkara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Which one is that? Yeah, prakrite kriyamanani. Yeah. 27. I don't know which one you are reading. All my efforts to wake people up are failing. Help. 27, 28. Prakrite kriyamanani कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्म विभागयोः गुणा गुणेषु वर्तन्ते इति मत्वा न सज्जते. Does not get stuck up. We already saw this. We saw the contrast. What is it that is doing the action? Prakriti, the body mind sense complex. And the ahamkara that is mistakenly associating itself with the body mind sense complex has to pluck itself. This is the job of the Shastra, to pluck the ahamkara from hugging the body mind sense complex and saying this is me, I am karta, and walk over this reluctant ahamkara to Atma Brahma Satchidananda Satyam Jnanam Anantam, and to tell this sad vimudha deluded ahamkara, your home is here. You are lost here. Your home is here. Your home is not somewhere else. It's just like the story in the 6th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad. There is a man from Gandhara Pradesha, and he is set upon by a group of robbers. They tie him and then they blindfold him, rob him, and then what? Throw him in the forest in a ditch somewhere, and they make off with his belongings. And then he is bound, he is blindfolded, and he shouts, help, trahimam, pahimam, help me. I am from Gandhara, I don't know where I am, because when you are blindfolded, there is no sense of direction, is there? There is absolutely no sense of direction. What is east, what is west, what is top, what is bottom, you don't know. And so this fellow is left there and he cries, and one well-wisher comes. An anonymous well-wisher comes and says what? Let me untie you. Unties the hand, unties the eyes. This is not Gandhara. You are lost. Gandhara Nagara is that way. Gandhara Desha is that way, points him towards Gandhara, orients him and says, please go there. And the man, being intelligent, gets the general direction of Gandhara Pradesha, and on the way stops and asks and goes to his house. This is an allegory in the Chandogya Upanishad. The lost person who is robbed of what? Robbed of one's priorities, robbed of moksha as a purushartha, robbed of sanity, what to pursue, what not to, nothing. And then the person is thrown in the ditch by these robbers, 2 robbers. Who are they? Ragadvesha, very easy. Yeah. Ragadvesha, Kama, Krodha, anything you can say. So the Kama, Krodha bandits, Ragadvesha bandits set upon this hapless, hopeless, jaded, faded jiva. And then what do? They tie the jiva to a life of karma, karma phala, disoriented, blindfolded to the truth of oneself. Even though the truth is right there, cannot see the fact that one is far away from home and just sits there and cries for help. Guru hears the cry for help. Bhagavan hears the cry for help and tells the Guru, please go help. And the Guru takes away the cataracts of ajnanam from the eyes. This is what we sing before every class. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shriyayukta Gurave Namaha. To that Guru who is abundance itself, abundance of clarity, abundance of compassion. Tasmai Namaha, unto that Guru, eternally grateful I am. Why? What did this Guru do? The Guru is Vaidya. The Guru is a surgeon. The Guru is a doctor. How is the Guru the surgeon? Because took away the cataracts of the eyes, cataracts of non-seeing the truth of myself. Atma Ajnanam was spirited away by the scalpel of knowledge. Actually, it's not scalpel, anjana, ointment. Ointment, they must have been in ancient Ayurveda, some ointment to remove the cataracts or reduce the cataracts. So, the Guru applying the ointment of self-knowledge, ointment called Mundakopanishad, ointment called Brihadaranyaka, ointment called Chandogya, you call it anything, it's the same. Ishavasya ointment, doesn't matter. As soon as that ointment is applied to the eyes, I see colors, I see sights, I see sounds I had never heard and seen before. I can see again. The cataract of subjectivity has been duly removed. I see my own nature. So here the Guru takes away the blindfold for this lost traveler who has been set upon by these robbers of Kama, Krodha, Raga, Dvesha, whatever. You can imagine a pack of them or you can imagine 2 of them, doesn't matter. And then what? Then this is home. And instead of Gandhara Pradesha, you say Om. Om is my home. What is the meaning of Om? Om is Bhagavan, Ishwara. Om is Bhagavan. Om is Jiva. Om is Ishwara. Om is Brahman. Om is Brahman plus Jagat, plus Maya Shakti plus Jagat. Om is Brahman, just consciousness. Om is I. Om is therefore home. I have to learn to be at home with Om in Om. Om is truly home. And so, just like the well-wisher points to Gandhara Pradesha, then the person goes. So, here too the Guru says, your home is Om. Not with these bandits, Raga, Dvesha, what are you doing with them? Don't keep on cohabiting with them. And why are you crying? Here is the help. Help has come. And then the Jiva, being intelligent, asks means gets rid of doubts, manana, nididhyasana, all this. And then reaches to Gandhara Pradesha. Reaches Gandhara Pradesha means reaches home. So therefore the Ahamkara, which is totally become friends and attached to the body-mind-sense complex, has to be pried from that attachment and walked over to Om. That Om being the self, one is permanently akarta. Kartritvam is just an as though attribute ascribed to the I that is free of all attributes. Just like this ascription. Like for example, somebody gets a new job. What is the job? CEO of a company. And with that, you get a table. You get a little nameplate with the letter CEO. You get somebody to bring you chai. You get your personal chai wala, and then who brings you chai, and then you get a bell. You keep ringing the bell, all kinds of people will come. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? These are all things that don't belong to you. What do they belong to? They are the dharma, the attributes that go along with the status of CEO, the position of CEO. And then, just as miraculously as you got this position, so there was some rivalry, politics in the office, they kicked you out. And then if you go home and ring the bell, what will happen? Nothing. No chai comes. People at home say, make your own chai. While you are at it, make me also 1 cup. That is how it is. So the person of knowledge knows that these are all accoutrements belonging to that particular status, that position. If I just say they are all mine, these are all people, this is all me, if I identify with it, then there is nobody more miserable than me. So therefore, I have to keep a healthy distance between, an inner distance between what? The position, the status, and the projection, and myself alone. And what is, who am I? I am the one who belongs to Om. I am at home with Om. The rest of it is just there for enjoyment. If it is enjoyable, or to exhaust some karma if it is not enjoyable. That is what this verse teaches us. This is why the person who sees karma in akarma and akarma in karma is described as buddhiman, a very ingenious verse. Buddhiman, the one who has Medha Shakti, the one who unswervingly knows that I am not a karta. I am at home with the one who is not a karta. That is who I am. Kartritvam is, as it were, superimposed upon me. Like even the foggy day is superimposed upon the sun. You say mistakenly, it's a cloudy day, there is no sun. There is no sun, it's a rainy day, it's a cloudy day. This is actually according to one of the students of Adi Shankara who Hastamalaka, who had the knowledge, Haste Amalaka Iva, like even holding the gooseberries in the hand. The gooseberries apparently comes out easily from the bush. So with that ease, he held the knowledge with himself, the knowledge of the eye. And he composed this 13 verses, 12 verses called Hastamalakiyam, beautiful. Sanityopalabdhi swarupoham atma, that is the refrain. Sanityopalabdhi swarupoham atma, I am this atma. What kind of atma? Nitya upalabdhi swarupa, the atma that is always evident as I, over which there is a lot of attributions, lot of so-called superimposition. And he derides these superimpositions and these wrong assumptions and errors. He gives this very example. The one who says, there is no sun, it's a cloudy day. Where are the clouds? Obscuring your vision, he says. Ghanachanna drishtihi. Ghanachanna channam arkam iti manyate vimudhaha. The deluded one whose drishti, whose vision is clouded by ignorance, thinks that the sun is clouded or covered by the clouds. In fact, it is because of the sun we see the clouds. And so too here, behind every karta there is what? Akarta. Akarta is the truth of the karta. Always. And what am I? Akarta. So akarta means what? I should just sit quiet after this verse. Oh my God, OMG, I should just sit quiet, I shouldn't do anything. Then because doing is perilous and I am dangerous, so I should just sit quietly not doing anything. Is that correct? No. So what shall we do? Go further and see what is indeed it is that is correct. Okay. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varchitaha jnanagnidagdha karmanam tamahuh panditam buddhaha. Yasya, for whom? Sarve samarambhaha, all initiatives. Anything that one initiates is called arambhaha. Samarambhaha, things, projects that are dear to them, that have been begun nicely. All the beginnings, everything the person initiates is varjitaha, free. Free of what? Kama and sankalpa. Kama is fancy, desire. Sankalpa is the planning, because after desire the desire won't let you sit quietly. After desire comes what? Planning. Like even if one has a child, immediately one thinks, I'm going to make her or him into a doctor, into a space scientist, into some kind of a big ruler. And then meanwhile the child has the prarabdha of becoming a brahmachari and ending up in an ashram. Okay, so what are you going to do? So this is the planning is there. The child hasn't even gone to KG yet. The parents are planning for PhD. Is there anything wrong? Nothing wrong. You can plan. It's your child. You're not planning for somebody else's child. So it's okay. But the child has its own karmic trajectory. The child will grow up and become whatever you are, whatever you don't want it to be, it will become. This is the law of karma. Whatever you don't want the child to become, that's exactly what it will become. That's how it is in the world, so that the samsara can keep going. Saintly parents say, oh, we want a child who will be interested in Brahma Vidya. And the child is not interested in B for Brahman at all. And then parents who are into lot of enjoyment and going here, going there, all these things. And they have a child who says, I want to go to Rishikesh. I want to study in Anekatti. This is how it is. This is the law of karma. This is how it keeps going. And so therefore, nothing wrong to plan for the child, because yes, planning and having a desire is okay. But identifying with that desire and saying, this is what I'm going to make this child, it leads one to disappointment. So sankalpa is planning, kama, desire. So whenever we start something, we have both, generally people in the world have both kama and sankalpa. Kama is there, that's why I have started something. I start an initiative, I start a movement, I start some kind of a group, whatever it is. One has started this because of some desire, and along with that sankalpa is there. Everybody makes a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. This is what I'm going to do, and this is how it's going to be, and after this I will do this, and then this is the plan I have for all the people, employees in the organization, this is what they will do. Where are the employees? Nowhere. But still the sankalpa, the planning is there. But for a jnani, which one? The one who knows that behind every karta, the truth of every karta is akarta. Behind every karma is akarma. The one who knows. For such a person, for whom all the initiatives are what? Free of these two things, kama and sankalpa. There is no agenda. I don't want to change the world. I am just setting something there into motion. Let it have an organic beginning. Let it do whatever it wants to do. I am not going to be having an agenda for it. And the planning is also not there. The planning is totally given to Ishwara. Let it happen. Let it happen how it is meant to happen. That doesn't mean there is not some idea. That doesn't mean there is no leadership. Idea is there, leadership is there, some kind of a direction is also there. But if I see that like a river, it is flowing somewhere else, I don't try to make it flow back this way. I go with the flow. Such a person is a jnani. And then, yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha. And who is this person? Jnanagni dagdha karmanam. Jnanagni dagdha karmanaha. The one whose karmas and karma phalas, we have to say by interpolation, have been burnt in the fire of knowledge. like a bhasmikrita bijavat. Bija means what? Seed. Roasted seed. Delicious for eating, useless for planting. Ah. So between the regular seed and roasted seed, if I have a plate of seeds, regular seeds and roasted seeds, if I show it to you from here, you can't even tell the difference. Both will look the same. Both will be same. In one plate or in one bowl, I have regular seeds. In another one, I have roasted seeds. What is the difference? No difference. When you plant both of them, then the difference. 3 days later, you get an ankura. You get a little sapling from the regular seed, and the roasted seed does not germinate. Not good for prasava, for reproduction, for germination. What is it good for? Swaha, to eat. Yeah, it is only good to eat. It is tasty to eat. Sunflower seeds you roast and you put some salt, and so many seeds you can roast. So the roasted seeds are nutritious and good to eat, not for germination. For germination, it is useless. Just like that, for the person of knowledge, the sankalpa, the kama, the desires, the planning, and the feeling, I am a karta, not a karta, a karta, a doer. All that has been burnt, roasted in the fire of Atmajnanam. Atmajnanam is a conflagration that eats up kartritvam, that eats up karma phala, that eats up karma. That I am a karta, that notion is eaten up by which fire? That is called the fire of knowledge. And fire is called pavaka. Pu plus aka. Aka means agent. Pu means to purify. Pu plus aka, pavaka. So just like the fire purifies, the jnanam is akin, is compared to a fire that also purifies even better than the fire. Why even better than the fire? Fire purifies, but fire also destroys. Here it leaves the person intact, but destroys the thought, I am the karma. Destroys the wrong understanding, I am a karta. I am a doer. I have results of action. I have to exhaust my karma. I am this, I am that, I am guilty, I am hurt. All these are burnt by the fire of knowledge. And such a person, tam ahuhu, such a person is known as a pandita. By who? Other panditas. Only one pandita can talk about other panditas. If one is not a pandita, you cannot say this, you are such and such a pandita. It's like a 4th grade student going up to Albert Einstein and patting him on the back and saying, Shabash, well done, means nothing. So only a pandita can call somebody else or give the title of pandita to somebody else. Tam ahuhu. So many panditas deem this person to be a pandita. Who is a pandita? Panda atmajnana vishaya panda. Panda asya asti iti panditaha. That is, itaha means equipped with panda. Panditaha. So the one who has self-knowledge is called pandita. Where have we heard this? 2nd chapter, 11th verse. Ashocyanan vasochastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gatasu nagatasumscha nanushocanti. More we'll see later. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om